In the previous two examples, we have seen that while using content-aware scaling, on the option bar we have this option called Protect Skin Tone, and that takes care of the human figures in the photograph, and it beautifully transforms the image with the content-aware scaling. But what about the pictures that do not have any human figure in it, like this picture with the yellow flower? This photograph I have downloaded from unsplash.com, and the photographer is Aaron Burden. So let's see how to take care of this kind of photographs where there's no human figure and still we manage to will use the content aware scaling on this picture. So for that we need to do the selection. Now you have not learned selection so far in this course. Therefore, till you reach to the selection lessons in this course, let me try to explain this in the easiest possible manner. So first of all, go to the magic wand tool over here. This is the magic wand tool, and you don't have to use this tool. We just need the options on the option bar on the top. So select it and look at the option bar and say select subject. This is again an intelligent option in Photoshop. It automatically recognizes the subject in the picture. So in this case, flower is a very prominent subject over here. Rest everything is out of focus, and it's very isolated. The whole thing, the flower is isolated from its background, and Photoshop is capable enough to recognize that. And you see, it's automatically created this selection. And further, you will learn selection in much more details in this course. But right now, we got our selection by just clicking on one simple button. Now with that selection, this is called marching ants, which is the indication of active selection. With the active selection, go to the channels over here, or you can go to Windows and go to channel. And in the channel, you see this alpha 1, alpha 2. These are the channels created by me. So by default, you'll see only RGB, red, green, and blue. So you have to click on this create new channel over here, this button, and click, and you get everything black, but the selection, the marching ant selection, is still intact. And now you have to do two things. One is say Alt and backspace, and if you get this, you are done. On the Mac, you should say Option and delete. But if you still get the black color here, which is very much possible, you can say Control and backspace. Both the option you have to try. Alt backspace, that is Option and delete, or Control and backspace, that is Command and delete on the Mac. So try both the option, because I want to avoid the confusion and giving you two options, which after some time you'll find is very silly, but then it is my attempt to teach you this particular option without teaching you the selection. So Alt and backspace, or Control or backspace. On the Mac, Option and delete and Command and delete. And the objective is to get the white color in this selection. As soon as you get the white color in the selection, you can go back to the channels, go to Window and Channels, and click outside, or click on the RGB, or make all the alpha channels. You should have one alpha channel only. So click on the eye icons and make them invisible. All the your alpha channel should be invisible. The eye should not be visible here. And the RGB channel should be selected. Just click on this RGB over here and it will be selected. Finally, what you get is just a selection over here, and you don't see anything related to this alpha channels in your image except for the selection. Once you are done that, say Control and D to deselect. Control and D is for deselect. And now click on the layer, and we are ready to use the content aware scaling in this. So go to edit and say content aware scale, or say Alt Shift Control and C on the keyboard. And now you can just remove this option. You don't have to click on this option. And there is another option which is called protect. Now here, by clicking on this option, we said protect skin tone. that is human figure essentially. But with this, you just give a drop down and you'll see the alpha channels. All are same. I just created while recording the video, but in your case, it should be just one alpha channel. And just click on that. And now your flower will get protected while you scale, you use the content aware scaling, like something like this. See, the flower is not changing its size. So everything is getting changed, but flower is not. Let me do that again. I'll say Control Z a couple of times to undo that, or say escape to undo that, and again say Control Shift Alt and C on the keyboard, or edit and content aware scale, and hold on Shift and drag this and drag this. But you see, I have not checked in the protect option over here, and that's why the flower is getting dragged. You can see it clearly there. Again say escape to this and say Control Shift Alt and C, or edit and content aware scaling, and this time go over here, select the alpha channel as protection, and now I say shift and drag and shift and drag. The flower remains unchanged.